Something is deeply wrong with the Texas Rangers. What's up, everybody, and welcome into Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet, presented to you by Betway. Texas. What is going on in Texas right now, man? A couple years ago, this was the best team in baseball, showing it off with a World Series win, and now that offense cannot hit a beach ball, folks. We're going to talk about what could be going wrong with them, if they can turn it around, if there's any hope to this season, and just in general, our thoughts on how things are going. Before we do, please make sure to hit that like, smash that subscribe button, and of course, let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Okay, so we are Toronto Blue Jays fans. We've made that very, very clear. We saw firsthand exactly what was going on with the Texas Rangers in this last series. Toronto wins the series, scoring a total of 4 runs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. I can't believe we got to see it firsthand as a Blue Jays fan. I knew you guys were struggling this year, but my God, I saw next level of bad. The Blue Jays coming into that series, the pitching staff hasn't been the best. They got beat up by the Tampa Bay Rays down at Steinbrenner Field. And at watching those games, I saw against the Rays, a lot of the pitchers throwing fastballs down the middle, cookie pitches that got hit, mistake pitches that got hit. And in the Rangers series, I didn't see anything different in terms of location. A lot of cookies down the middle, fastballs right there, and the Rangers hitters swing and a miss right through it. It looked like they were in between everything. They were unsure, and it shows throughout the entire lineup. When you look at all their stats, they are in a lost place right now.
Well, speaking of, let's take a look at the statistics right now, just across the board. This is their roster according to Fangraphs, folks, and the hitting. What is going on with the hitting? What's crazy is, like, a couple years ago, this was one of the better hitting teams in all baseball. I remember making videos about how whenever there was a runner in scoring position, Texas would score them. And they were, like, incredible at doing that. Miles better than everyone else. Obviously, went on to win the World Series. Now, a couple years later, like, basically the same roster, and they are 30th in OPS, 28th in runs scored. The average is one of the worst. The on-base is the worst. And the craziest part about all of this is that they're doing it with the best starting pitching.
Well, yeah, when you look at that, right, it kind of evens out to about around 500, but the name of the game is you got to score runs, and they're just not scoring runs, so they're 3 games below 500. But, yeah, when you look at that pitching staff, right, like, you've got some guys up here. Like, look at this pitching staff. Nathan Eovaldi, this guy's turned into a Cy Young caliber guy. Mahley, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, he's also got a sub-2 ERA. Jacob deGrom, rising from the dead. He's got a mid-2 ERA. Patrick Corbin as well. These guys that have been dead for years all of a sudden are giving you quality performances. So it's just unfortunate that they're paired up with just such a weak lineup that, like, to your point, Nick, like, they were one of the best in years, but they have a lot of their guys that were very good in those years past, that 2023 year where they won the World Series, that just aren't doing it anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is. Like, is that the hitting coach over there in Texas? Is that like, some of these players just, like, they all coincidentally had breakout seasons in 2023? Like, what was it, right? Because you look at the names and I still think, okay, like, these are talented baseball players. Marcus Semien, for instance, great example, but he is playing some of the worst ball that I have ever seen, dude.
Oh, God, I know. Like, I think the fall off is officially happening for Marcus Semien. I now just officially dropped him in fantasy, so I got the balls to do that. Well, actually, I don't even need the balls. This guy is the worst OPS registered in all of MLB, as you could see here. 484 OPS with a batting average of 173. He is an automatic out. He was batting, like, in the top 3 of the order to begin the season, has dropped all the way to 9. This is what I was afraid of when they signed that massive deal, 7 years, $175 million for Marcus Semien. I was afraid that this was going to happen. They got a few more years left of him.
They do.
And he's 34 years old right now, so this feels like it could be I don't see a real reality where he comes back and hits 40 bombs for you again.
No. I mean, if you can get, at this point, if you can get what you got last year, you're actually kind of laughing if you're in Texas, and I don't know if that is a guarantee in any capacity, but clearly when you're paying a guy this much money to have him be the worst qualified player in terms of OPS, that is a big problem. Different guy, but similar levels of fall off. Adolis Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
When they won the World Series, this dude, again, whenever there was a runner in scoring position, he would cash them. He would cash them. 107 RBIs. That is, a second year in a row of getting over 100 ribbies. And since then, it's just been a slow and steady decline. And this year, you're looking at it, and it's like batting 208, 626 OPS. Only 7 bombs. Like,
where are the home
runs? All go?
He had 39 home runs in 2023. Where's the home run power from Adolis Garcia? He was a big part of that World Series team, and now he's struggling. And a guy that we actually don't have up here, but he's been dealing with injury all year, is Corey Seager.
Yeah.
He's been off and on the IL. I think twice now he's been off and on.
Yeah, he just came back yesterday. And again, like Corey Seager, different than Marcus Semien. When he is there, he is still great. He is still performing at a high level. I mean, last year he was good. This year, again, and this is with a shitload of injuries too. He's managing, to still play at a high level. So if he could stay healthy, he'd be great. Not the problem here, but I mean, staying on the field is obviously the problem.
That's the problem, right? So those are 3 of your kind of juggernaut bats that are either hurt and missing, or they're just not performing the same. And then when you look up and down the lineup, right? I mean, you got guys that you could kind of get behind. You've got like Josh Young, the young guy. Wyatt Langford, a 5-tool player. Even Alejandro Zuna in a small at-bats that he's had has been okay. But, those guys need to complement the big guys, and they don't have the big guys right now. So that all leads to just a terrible offense.
Yeah, and it has been a tough watch. All of this has led the Texas Rangers playoff hopes to really go down the drain. And I mean, again, it's still May, so anything can happen. But right now, they are at a 21.7% chance. Compare that to where they were at the beginning of the year, which was over 50, and you are seeing one of the most dramatic drop-offs in this 2-month stretch for any team in baseball. Yeah, at one point, they were up there at 71.2%. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And now they're all the way down to, 1 in 5 times making the playoffs. It's very simple. If your lineup can hit, even at an average level, you will be in the playoffs, because that starting pitching is going to take you places. But when you're the worst in baseball, in terms of scoring runs, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, like there is somewhat, I guess, hope for this team if you get Corey Seager healthy, back full time. That's a big boost to your lineup, and that's going to obviously complement everybody else. Semien, I don't really have a lot of hope for him. Adolis Garcia, it's like a timing issue for this guy. Like, his swing looks all out of whack. It doesn't look like he's really looking for a pitch to hit. Like, he's got to figure that out. And you did mention hitting coach. They got a new hitting coach this season. So far, it's really not working.
Yeah.
So, look, if they could find, you're right, any resemblance of an offense and scratch across, 3.5 to 4 runs a game, that number one starting rotation, that's going to be good. That's all, like when they won the World Series, they didn't have a great bullpen. They had the best offense and they had an okay pitching staff, and they did it. If they could flip it around, have a really great pitching staff and then an okay offense, then maybe they got a chance in an NL West that is somewhat, competitive.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, they have, different than a team like the Toronto Blue Jays, who we've been getting on quite frequently. Toronto Blue Jays don't have any, to stand on, right? Like, we don't have anything that we're very good at. At least Texas does have that, where it's like, okay, you know what? We have the starting pitching. We can build off of this. We can, we can play our game. However, you can't be 30th in OPS.
Yeah.
You can't, right? Like, you got to be a bit better than that. And it really just does come down to, can Corey Seager stay on the field? Can Marcus Semien, at the very least, be not this bad? Can you be 700 OPS level of bad?
Right.
That is a dramatic increase from what he's doing right now. Can everyone take a mild step up? And if they can, Texas will be right back there. But, right now, it is tough. It is a tough watch.
It is, man. They're so close, but yet so far away. But if you want to bet on the Rangers and their playoff hopes, you can do it on Betway, guys. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code right here on the screen or click the link in the details to join the action. Only available in Ontario. Must be 19 years or older. Please play responsibly. The odds for them to not make playoffs is 140 right now. 1.4 to not make playoffs, which makes sense because they're doing what they're doing. But if you do want them to make playoffs and you do believe in that team, then it's 275 Where are you kind of at with that?
I think I might actually take the 140. Like
I would actually take the 140
I think the return on that is surprisingly good for what I just witnessed.
Right.
Like when an offense is losing a series and the opposing team scored a total of 4 runs. That's a problem.
What's crazy is that on that second game, the Blue Jays had a chance to win it like 1-0.
Well, they had a chance to win it so many goddamn times, and they just fucked off.
Imagine getting swept with 5 runs against you. Like, that's embarrassing.
That would be totally embarrassing.
Still embarrassing regardless.
Yeah, so honestly, I kind of like the return on the 140. I would need to see that multiplier go up to like a 4 or 5 for me to start thinking about hitting them on playoffs.
Because they're one hot stretch away from like boom, you're back in the race.
I could still believe
that
it,
pitching
but
staff.
I do need to see a little bit of it first. Folks, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next time.
Cheers.